end part when I got irritable, angry, and mean. It's possible I chose husbands that wouldn't understand because I felt self-loathing inside my skin. I'll never know the answer, but I do know I no longer feel that self-loathing as intensely as I used to. Bring Change Your Mind has partnered with NAMI on many NAMI walks, and as a founder of Bring Change Your Mind, I am proud to see this alliance. NAMI is there for all of us, and I must say that I think going to NAMI meetings to support a loved one should be prescribed along with the psychiatric medications we take. I had a special position in our meetings. When questions of validity came up during a meeting, the others would look at me for confirmation. Is this how it is for a person with bipolar disorder? I was there for Calen, and I guess as it worked out, the others were there for me too. Sharing suffering makes for great friendships. I had a small but effective group in Bozeman, Montana to help me through the 4 stages of my grief surrounding Calen's illness: denial, anger, acceptance, and advocacy. The personal feel of NAMI gatherings, the hope held out to all who attend, the ability to make this huge organization touch the personal, to help and allow hope to ring true, are what I am celebrating as this conference. And I'm so very proud to be here. Thank you.
Say some things that I feel are important. Some of these things will be relevant to people with various forms of mental illness, and some of them will just be relevant to life. In fact, as I was writing this, going from past to present, I was questioning everything. And right now, in some sense, I'm trying to make sense right now. It's not an easy thing to do, but I'll keep trying. Everything I am saying and will say here is from my heart. And keep in mind, too, that I'm speaking from an infinite void of thoughts and feelings. All things that are me and all things that I think will not be discussed here, even though I'm experiencing my full-blown reality right now. I realize, too, this all might sound egocentric. I am a little egocentric. Sometimes cutting myself off from what it is that connects us all. For me, clarity can be fleeting. My journey to create a healthy mind was not an easy one. In fact, sometimes the pain and isolation were almost unbearable. I have thoughts that are not rational, thoughts that as they age become vague and riddled with absurdity. If I'm not careful, these thoughts can ruin me. There was a time when I did not know myself. My consciousness was based on false or ludicrous concepts that I tried so hard to hold on to that they disintegrated under the pressure. And by the way, when I looked up absurdity in the thesaurus, the word craziness was listed as an informal synonym. Ridiculous was also listed. That word implies that ridicule or mockery are suitable responses to so-called ridiculous behavior. I can look back and list or remember so many moments in which I was not able to understand that people may have seen my behavior as ridiculous, or heard my words as being ridiculous. Did I deserve mockery or judgment? or just a person to really listen to what I was saying without maybe projecting their own experiences and concepts onto me. The problem with me at first was this: even if someone really wanted to help me, I was unresponsive to their words or perspectives. I was and am the only person that chooses the right path for myself. These are some things I do to get better. I try to be confident while not listening to all my negative thoughts. This also means that I follow my heart and my will to do good, not getting hung up in self-pity or false pride even. I appreciate what I have, not necessarily material things, but rather understanding of myself and my resulting world. I follow love, not hatred or intolerance, and I take my medication. Of course, day-to-day life can bring a person down, and so can the weather sometimes. In today's world, we are every day bombarded with information, thoughts, feelings, sights, sounds. We are minions to our own minds in many ways, yet have to rely on them to function well, providing us with the options to make all kinds of choices. Of course, everyone is different, scientifically. In fact, so different that we might as well live on separate planets. It might seem hopeless, but there are some things that make life bearable. And there are things we all have in common. In fact, we are both extremely unique, but at the same time, very much the same in the big picture. We think we know that our world is alone. We have an idea of the scale of our universe. We are learning at an incredible rate. All of us as individuals are literally insignificant in the scheme of things, but on a microcosmic scale, or on one more familiar to us, we can be happy, regardless of all the negativity in our lives, and that is a miracle. We can have friends, we can relate, we can manipulate our worlds, we can understand anything as long as we think we can. We all have a past. It is up to the individual to reason with themselves enough to be able to deal with their regret or other issues well enough to not spend a lot of time actually living in the past, because this only brings problems. Now is the real reality of our experience. For those with mood or thought disorders, living in the here and now can be extremely difficult. And I have to say that it takes a lot of guts to withstand constant fear and confusion. The good news is there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Please don't lose hope that a person with a serious mental illness can recover. Look at all of you. You're a support an organization that wants to help those in need. There are many people and doctors who want nothing more than to unlock these mysterious problems of the mind that cause many individuals to suffer within themselves, sometimes to the point of taking their own lives. Yes, these gifted scientists, or scientific pioneers, I think, are working hard to find the key. Most of you here today know that finding a solution to an illness or illnesses of the brain and organs so mysterious is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. But I have hope that it will be found. There are many out there who scoff at those individuals that appear different. Why? Maybe it's because those people would rather make fun of someone than try to open their own minds. I think these people should not ignore or take for granted their own effect on those around them. Maybe these, maybe these people should let down their own guard and see that there are an infinite number of possibilities one may choose from when experiencing your world or your consciousness. Let's agree that humans do not have all the answers. We do not fully understand our worlds. The most important thing I feel that I want to say here to each consumer is be aware of yourself and your confidence, because without that, it's difficult. We can't be easily understood by others and/or ourselves without it. If someone does not or cannot take the care to try and know themselves and does not take the care to listen to others, that someone's world invariably sinks into an ocean of despair. Instinctually, we need to be social, and there is a therapeutic value in human interaction. So, if we accept this, we know that each individual has the capacity to heal another. The mentally ill individual can be difficult to break through to. However, with a lot of patience, it is possible to help, and patience is indeed a virtue. I will say that not a lot of people can understand those with mental illness or being mentally ill. In fact, symptoms can vary quite a bit, even from consumer to consumer. But it is stigma we're trying to combat. Most importantly, self-stigma. Everyone has insecurities, but when you lose your mind and can't control your thoughts, insecurities become monsters. Personally, I think sometimes that people can read my mind. And it does become kind of a reality that cannot be fully rejected or accepted, so it becomes a little problematic. The process of knowing or understanding is elusive, coming and going, in and out of our daily consciousness. We are built to filter information. We are built to take absolute control of our worlds. It is within we must look in order to alter or construct mechanisms that allow us to process everything we experience on the inside and out. And every day we are presented with choices. For myself, they might be whether to accept myself as a good person, or maybe that I need to quiet my mind. Within everyone are two seeds, a good seed and a bad seed. I encourage you to look within for the truth, love yourself, and nurture the good seed, because time can fly by. Life does not last long. Cancel all the apathy you can. Hold yourself responsible for becoming a caring spirit who knows that we should admire people for their strengths, but love them for trying to overcome their weakness. Thank you. Well, we're at the part of the program